Start your mornings right with the Medicare Morning Show. Join our dynamic trio of hosts, John Davis, William Lacey, and Felicia Evans, as they bring you the latest insights, expert advice, and real-life stories to help you navigate the world of Medicare.
Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to the Medicare Morning Show. I am one of your hosts, John Davis. And of course, as you know, I'm here with my crew, my other two co-hosts, the lovely, ever-learning Miss Felicia Evans. Welcome to the show. Let's see. I think she's here somewhere.
I am here. Good
Felicia,
morning.
what happened to you? I thought you left me.
Thought about it, but I had to go get my coffee. I had to go get coffee.
Good. Okay, you got your coffee. And of course, we got the suave, cool Mr. William Lacey. Come on in, William.
What's up, y'all? It's good to be here.
Good morning. Look, this is the Labor Day edition because it is a holiday, so everybody's at home right now. I'm thinking relaxing.
Yep.
So we're back. We're back. You know that song, We're Back? We're back.
Sure. What song are you talking about? What's in your coffee cup, John?
Well, right. Look, this is what I'm drinking today, y'all. Nothing, no mimosas this morning, no coffee. I'm just taking it slow. So, but y'all know we're back. We're back every Monday at 10 a.m. to deliver you all news you can use. We're talking about health, community, and most of all, Medicare education. So we're back. So what's going on, William? How you been? How was your weekend?
Feeling good. Weekend was really nice. It's always good to spend time with the family. I'm a family guy, so it was good.
Okay. Fee, I know you were out hustling, doing something. I'm thinking, right? Am I wrong?
Always.
Okay. Well, look, y'all. Today we got a packed show. We got a lot to cover. We're going to talk to you guys about original Medicare. What is original Medicare? When we're talking about Medicare Parts A and B, we're going to go into some education for the majority of the show. And then, of course, we're going to talk about some things that we're going on in the community beyond bingo, right? Like, what else is there to do? Felicia, I'm tired of bingo. So we're going to give these people an alternative to bingo. And then, of course, we're going to give you all the healthy tip of the week. And then we're going to usher you out in the week to live a vibrant, fun life. I wrote that intro.
That wasn't off the top of your head? That was
okay, yeah, kind of off the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't sit in my bed and write that intro out.
I know you did.
I didn't do that.
You were freestyling on the mic?
I was just trying to get it in. That's all. But look, y'all, we got a lot to cover, so let's go and dig into it. What is Medicare Part A and B? William, talk to me. What do you got?
Part A? Okay. Well,
let's just talk about Medicare in general. So Medicare has, original Medicare has how many parts, Lacey? I think two.
Only two.
Only two.
So yeah, back when it came out in the 60s, it was just two parts.
Okay. Medicare Part A and B.
Yeah.
So okay. And then I guess over time, they added Medicare Part C, which is Medicare Advantage plans, and then they added Medicare Part D because people couldn't get prescription medication, so they needed to be able to use their prescription drug plans, and that's how we have Medicare Part D or Medicare Part D.
And we'll get to this, I'm sure, at another show.
Oh, yeah.
Part D, I believe, was added before C. So
yeah. Sorry, I messed that up. So we need to talk about Medicare Part C, which is Medicare Advantage plans, and then we got to cover Medicare Part D, which are prescription drug plans. But it's so much to cover in those two segments. It's just impossible to do it in the length of our show, unless we have like a double show or something.
Right.
Maybe that's something we need to think about, but that's a long time. But we are starting to do seminars around the city. So if you want to come out and hear us talk about these Medicare A, B, C, and D and all that stuff, you can join one of the seminars, and we'll have those posted later on, hopefully in the show or maybe on next week's show. it'll have the dates and you can just come out and see us in person. But for now, let's get into Medicare Part A. Let's see. I actually have some information on Medicare Part A. I'm going to pull this up, William.
Okay, go right ahead.
So here we go, y'all. So I talked about, we were talking about Medicare Part A, which is hospitalization. And a lot of people, William, mix Medicare Part A and B up. But can you explain what the hospital is when it comes to Medicare Part A? I guess it covers your inpatient hospital stays, skilled nursing facility care, hospice care, and some home health care. So that's covered under Medicare Part A.
Yeah. So I always like to put it in, I guess, terms. Let's say your aunt. We always go with the aunt. Let's say your aunt Susie fell down and she gets rushed to the hospital, and they say, "Oh, she's bad. She's got to be put into a room." Okay. That's inpatient hospital stay. Let's just say that they work on her and maybe we required surgery. And then after surgery, they say, okay, she doesn't need to stay in the main hospital, but she does need some, I don't know, rehab and therapy, skilled nursing right there.
Right. Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I also forgot to say Medicare, we may have skipped just a little basic piece, but Medicare usually starts at age 65 or when you've been disabled for 24 months. That usually kicks off your start to at least your Medicare Part A, because, you know, when you turn 65, they just go ahead and usually send you out your red, white, and blue card with the Medicare Part A already active for the month of your birthday. Usually you get those cards 3 months before usually be
yes,
William?
3 months before.
Mm-hmm.
That's about right.
So we're looking at 3 months before, and then you usually get your Medicare Part A card or your red, white, and blue card, and usually it just has the Medicare Part A there. So how do you pay for Medicare Part A though? Because I know, like Felicia, you have a daughter that just started working, and she's now paying taxes. What's her experience being looking at her taxes, paying for her Medicare at 17, 18 years old?
She wanted to know who FICA was and why were they taking taxes out of her check, taking money out of her check.
Look, not taxes. They're just taking money out of her check.
They just taking money out about who is FICA. Okay.
Right. So the good thing about Medicare Part A is that it's usually no premium, right? So you usually get it once you turn 65 because you paid those Medicare taxes all of those years. So if you pay, what is it? How many quarters, William?
40.
So you work for 10 years because there's 4 quarters a year.
Yeah.
So after you work for 10 years, that's going to get you your Medicare Part A premium free pretty much because you pay for it all those times. But then catching back up to what we was talking about earlier, William, it's going to cover your inpatient hospital, skilled nursing, hospice care, and then some home health care. And that some home health care is a huge misunderstanding to most people. Like I speak to so many people who think that home health care is one thing, and then you realize that it's something completely different once you need it. I know, William, you've had that experience.
Yeah, well, you talked about it a little bit, I think, before about people thinking it's long-term care or something like that, and
yeah,
that's not it.
No. And then Felicia, I know I've talked to you and some of your family members about the same situation, like thinking that your Medicare is going to cover you to go to a nursing home or stay in a long-term care facility. So that's always something that we have to push when we talk about Medicare Part A.
Exactly.
So the cost of Medicare Part A, though, William, this is another kind of misunderstanding that once you have Medicare, you don't pay for nothing else when it comes to healthcare. Surprisingly, that's probably not the truth. Fee, what do you know about that?
When it comes to the deductibles, you still have to pay, the deductible, which on the screen it was $1,600 per benefit period. So
right around there, yeah.
And so it can add up pretty substantially, I guess, if you're going in and out of the hospital with those benefit periods.
Right.
And a benefit period, William, is 60 days on the benefit period.
Yeah. So that means after a couple months if you were to go into the hospital again, that deductible could come right back up again, right around $1,600 that you have to pay first before
Yeah.
Medicare pays.
Yeah, absolutely. And see, the thing that's so scary about Medicare Part A, just having regular Medicare Part A, is that there's no max out-of-pocket cost. Like when we think about Medicare Advantage plans, like Medicare Part C plans, they usually have a max out-of-pocket cost that once you pay out-of-pocket that amount for the year, then you don't have to pay anymore for that remainder of the year. But when it comes to original Medicare, it's no stop loss. It's just no max out-of-pocket, which can add up pretty quickly. So something to think about. Also, the daily copays when we think about Medicare Part A, I listed them below. Days 1 through 60 is a $0 copay or $0 co-insurance. But then days 61 through 90, y'all, is when it really starts to add up because you're paying at $371 per day. And then days 91 and beyond is $742 a day. But who has that amount of money just kind of sitting around to pay $700 something a day? You know, that's a
lot.
That's a whole lot.
Will change. Yeah.
So yeah, y'all, Medicare Part A, you look on your card, you should have on your red, white, and blue card in the first line, it should have Medicare Part A, and then there's going to have an effective date, and that's the date of your Medicare Part A. So, you know, here on the Medicare Morning Show, we want to demyth things, hence the name Mythbusters Feed. Do you see that?
I see.
I mean, I wanted to put like some kind of
fist
busting the myth.
Yeah. Maybe next time. Maybe
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that next time. But some of these Mythbusters is what Medicare Part A actually does cover. Medicare Part A does not cover long-term care. That's what we just talked about. This includes non-medical care, such as assistance with activities of daily living, bathing, dressing, eating, just the things that we normally do every day. Medicare does not cover someone to come help us with those items. They only cover home health care. And see, William, this is always my pain point whenever I talk about Medicare is if they cover long-term care, home health care, and recognizing the difference. Could you explain kind of like what's the difference between home health care and long-term custodial care? Or do you know about that?
Well, the long-term care, they're very similar. Long-term care that could be in a facility, sometimes it's in your home. The home health care, people that need that, they usually contact you or I or Felicia. Yeah. Okay, mom needs it, or I need this right now. I just had a stroke and they put me out the hospital. I'm done needing that kind of medical care. Yeah. Now I need to be taken care of. And it just there's no provision for that with Medicare, really. And it's sad. I hate when you get those calls. I actually unfortunately got one recently trying to help the person.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. So the question is, how do we pay? And this may be another subject feed that we need to just talk about at a completely different time. But how do we pay for long-term care?
When it comes to, say that again.
So how do we pay for long-term care, William? I know, like,
I think we was discussing that long-term care starts to come out of pocket, either through your home, through real estate, stuff like that. So a lot of times, some clients lose homes, because you're going to be looking like, okay, well, how y'all gonna pay what you got, and if all you have is your house, then that's what they're going to attack first. Yeah, it's a possibility.
What do you think, John? How would you advise someone? What is the normal way a person can pay for long-term care?
Long-term care insurance is a thing. And, here's something that I've always thought about, or I've recently started thinking about, is not to count people's pockets fee, because I don't know how much money you got in the bank. I don't know what your assets are, But if I had a large supply of money, I probably would look at a trust, or if I have assets, putting my assets in a trust. But that's something that I would say to speak to an attorney about. We got long-term care insurance, which to a lot of people it may be unaffordable, but I'm sure to some of our listeners it's affordable and they can easily go get it. So if that's an option too, that would definitely be something that most people should think about.
I'm sure we're going to tackle that in another show. The earlier you do long-term care, you obtain that insurance, the cheaper it is. However, most people that are young enough that make it affordable really don't look at that as something that's really valuable. Those that want it or need it, it's a little too late. It's either they don't qualify or it's extremely expensive.
Yeah, that's usually the way it is. So, but that's something, guys, that I want you all, to our listeners, if that's something that you need information on, reach out to somebody, ask them about that, because that has a lot to do with passing on generational wealth and willing our assets to our children and grandchildren. So protecting those from something like long-term care costs is something we should all consider. So definitely something to think about. So William, what do you think? That pretty much covered Medicare Part A. Felicia, what you got? You got any questions about that? Or what's the audience asking?
So
I don't see anything, but go ahead.
Yeah, so Medicare Part A is pretty simple. John, if I want to get preventative services done, does Medicare Part A cover that? What does it mainly cover?
Medicare Part A, for the most part, covers you to stay in the hospital, just to round it up. It doesn't cover the medical costs. That would be Medicare Part B, which is perfect because I got it up on the screen right here, William. I got Felicia. I need some energy. If Felicia is down today.
No, I'm not. I'm listening. I'm learning. I'm taking notes.
Okay. Has she had her coffee today, William?
I'm taking notes, John. Important information. I'm taking notes.
You may need some water. It may be what it
notes.
is. So William, what do you have on Part B?
Well, it's right there. Doctor's office visits. Most people aren't going in a hospital, at least not often. When they're using any type of insurance, it usually involves going to see the doctor, right? Yeah. So there you go, doctor's visits. Or let's just say they do have things that go on that are medical. They go on to outpatient, like it says here, physical therapy, x-rays, labs, things like that. Yeah. If they go to the doctor, they get their annual preventative services. It talks about flu shots. There's a whole bunch of things that Part B covers, but it is the things that we generally come across when it comes to medical services. And even one more thing, durable medical equipment. It could be like a CPAP machine, or if you're diabetic, some of those things. So that's mainly what it covers.
Well, to a lot of my clients, what usually grabs their attention is the Part B premium because it comes out of their Social Security check. Right. You've had those clients where you're working with them and they say, well, what is this money coming out of my check? And they don't know what it is. It's like it just starts coming out once they turn 65 or enroll into Medicare. So the Medicare Part B premium is what, $174.70. But Fee, I think you got something coming up on that Medicare Part B premium. Do you have some breaking news for us?
Yes, I do. Let's get ready for guys. There I am. This just in. The Medicare estimates that in 2025, the increase in Part B premium is going to be $185. Yes, this is an increase of like 5.9%. So get ready for that. Now, this is not the official. So the official will be released before November, but just be prepared that it's going to be an increase come 2025 on your Part B premium.
Okay. Well, I didn't. I thank you for the breaking news feed.
You're welcome. Anytime I can help, I got you. Anytime.
So the Part B the Part B premium is increasing, or at least we're expecting it is to increase next year as soon as we get the final. I guess the final number from Medicare. We'll of course bring it back on the show and talk about that. But so Medicare Part B, going back to that, now we know that the premium right now is $174, and then it's going up some going into 2025. But William, what's the biggest myth that we have when it comes to Medicare Part B? I have something I can show you if you want it.
Okay, well go ahead, do the myth buster since you're gonna put it up there. Yeah, there you go, Medicare Part B.
Busting myths again. Here we go.
So Medicare Part B, Mythbuster. Again, if I had a fist, I would hit straight through the screen. But the Medicare Part B Mythbuster is that prescription drugs is not included in your Medicare Part B plan, as in boy. It's actually covered under your Medicare Part D plan, which is also changing fee going into 2025. And we're going to have a special guest on in a couple of weeks to talk about how that impacts all of us. So
everybody
definitely think about that. William, we also have overseas healthcare. It's not included with the original Medicare Part A or B. And then also dental, vision, and hearing is not included. I know a lot
of John.
Am I going too fast?
John.
No, that doesn't seem right.
So they don't seem right. I don't get vision. I don't get hearing. So what? In part, so A and B, you just told me what A covers. Now you're telling me what B covers, but I'm not hearing. I you know what? I get my vision done every year. I get my cleanings every 6 months. So when I leave my job and go to Medicare, that's not covered on original Medicare?
No, it is not covered under original Medicare. It's actually covered under a Medicare Advantage plan or a standalone dental, vision, and hearing
plan.
Which
we're going to talk about on another show, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that on another show. So I'm thinking next week's show is we're going to talk about Medicare. Yeah, we're going to talk about that next week.
Okay,
because I'm confused. That tunes in next week, we're going to talk about Medicare Part C, the Medicare Advantage plan. And William, that's one of your specialties. Fee, you know this because it's one of your specialties too.
Yeah. I love C. Yeah.
So y'all, that covers a lot of what we wanted to talk about today when it came to our educational session on Medicare. What we learned today is that original Medicare has only two parts. Those two parts, Fee, are
A and B.
Hospitalization and medical. So,
But no dental, vision, and hearing.
Just one thing to keep in mind for Part B. Sometimes we find people that say, I don't want Part B. John, you know why they turn that down?
Why? Because of the premium.
Why, right? Why, that's right, Felipe.
Because of that premium.
I don't want it if I got to pay $174.70 a month.
Right.
So do I have a choice though? Like, do our people have a choice on not getting Part B?
But what's the problem with turning that down?
Right. What's the problem?
No, if you turn down Medicare Part B, you don't have medical services. Like I always say, Medicare, this is my phrase. It's not a legitimate something that Medicare would ever publish. But I say Part B is docs and procs, doctors and procedures.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. So if you don't have Part B, you can go to the emergency room and stay in a hospital bed, but you're not going to have coverage to pay the actual doctors and the procedures, which is going to be a lot of medical bills.
And what's another problem?
I don't get sick a lot, though.
Okay, here's what's another problem then with turning down that $174.70 coming out of your. So what's the other problem, John?
Well, the other problem is you can't get Medicare Part C. You can't get on a Medicare Advantage plan without having both A and B. So if you need the dental, vision, hearing, and all that other stuff, you're not able to get that either.
And let's just say later on down the line, you say, okay, I better get Medicare Part B. What happens?
A penalty? You get a penalty.
Felicia, right on it. It is
get a penalty.
Yeah.
And then if you're saying I need it, it's probably because there's an occurrence. So you have to wait until there's an enrollment period
Yeah.
for you, the general enrollment period. So there's a lot for Part B as well.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So you would just say get it just in case. Just
you
have
want to
it. So
always
you avoid
get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So good. I just want to bring that out. Go ahead, John. I know.
And you're getting older too. So
yeah, no, it's something. It's definitely something that everybody has. I'm gonna say anybody that I love and I want to take care of, and that I have a say so in their medical situation, will absolutely have Medicare Part A and B when they're entitled to it, if they don't have anything else. The premium of $174. I mean, it may be a lot to some, but it's more than worth it because everybody gets sick. It's only a matter of time. You know what I mean? There's no way to really avoid it. So, but the good thing is, if you have problems affording that 174, there's programs to help you. You got 10 in the state of Tennessee. You got TennCare, QMB, Medicaid, that helps you pay that Part B premium. So before you even consider counseling it, the first thing you do is ask for help and see if you can get somebody to help you first. Something that yeah, that's the key.
Yeah.
So Fee, make sure when you turn 65, get your Medicare Part A and your Medicare Part B.
I will make sure, because I don't need penalties, and it's just in case, right?
And this is just not any penalty. You don't want lifetime penalties.
Yeah,
the penalties never end. So I know y'all are probably looking at the screen like this is too much information and it's overwhelming, and I get it. That's why we say just go ahead and reach out to an advisor or somebody that can sit down with you, or read that Medicare and You book. They just came out.
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
Yeah.
So
the 2024, I'm sorry, and I'm blogging it. The 2024 edition is available now, but they are coming out with one for next year as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we'll be able to have that. So Fee, I know we're coming to an end, but we cannot, we do not end this show without telling our listeners what can they do to not have to play bingo and get out the house.
Okay. It's called Beyond Bingo.
I've been playing bingo for the last 12 years of my life. Beyond Bingo session. Fee, what you got?
Y'all ready for it?
What's going on in Nashville Beyond Bingo?
Well, Beyond Bingo, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show y'all a screen for Beyond Bingo. We got coming to the stage, or coming to the city, the Nashville Fair, September the 6th through the 15th. Okay. That's the address there. They are Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday, Sunday, 11 a.m. to 9. So get out there, have some fun. And for our seasoned individuals, the admission is, it's small, $8. You don't have to ride the rides. I go for the fair food, to be honest.
Alicia, you like the fair?
You know what? I do not want a funnel cake. I do not want a fried
Oreo. That's the fun part.
I don't want none of that. But I will go to the Northwest Y Silver and Fit.
Well, then there you go. There you go. All levels are welcomed. 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday, September the 4th. So get over there for your Silver and Fit and get your workout on.
And the good thing is, if you have certain insurance, it's going to cover you. Did you know that, Fee? It covers for people to go to the gym and the Y. So if you have that type of insurance, you have no reason to not go.
No excuses.
Your elephant ear and then go work out at the Y.
Look, that's right. That's what you should do. You should get your elephant ear, your fried Twinkie, your fried Oreo, and then you should walk to the Y and exercise.
There we go.
Yeah.
So that's your Beyond Bingo segment for today.
Okay, Fee. Well, you always deliver good news that we all can use, and we greatly appreciate you. Well, look, y'all, it is almost the end of our show. It's been fun. It's a beautiful Monday morning, Labor Day. I encourage everyone to get out, do something new, something fun, exercise, walk around our neighborhood, go to the Y, something. this week, but whatever it is, make sure we go out and live a fun, vibrant week. Thank you so much for joining for the Medicare Morning. Well, thank you so much for joining the Medicare Morning Show today on Labor Day. We appreciate you for listening. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.
All right now. Good night. Well, good morning.
Bye, y'all.